Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ag Precision YouTube channel, and today we're looking at the WellPro WE06 PPK20. It's a pretty good little SMG GBB out the box, but as wacky as this is, they are doing like a normal PP19 model which doesn't look like this. It looks more like a normal one. What I'm not a massive fan on is this front end and the pistol grip, and up till today I was a bit like, well, it just kind of is what it is, we're kind of stuck with it, say no more. So I found a guy on, or it was either me or someone on the Discord found this guy on Cults that does files so you can print external accessories for this thing at home. They're very inexpensive. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to undo this little grub screw with a 1.5mm Allen key and turn it clockwise because it's a counterclockwise thread to remove the flash hider, and we'll remove the little washer that's on there as well. There is an O-ring which we'll get to in just a moment. To get the front end off, we need to strip down the adjustable front iron sight post. So there's many ways you can do this. It's not in there incredibly strong, you just need something to get in there to turn it. So what I used was just some tweezers. Doesn't really matter what tweezers they are, because you can get down onto the flat surfaces of this front sight post. I think there is a tool in the box that comes with it, but instead of trying to find where that is, I'm just going to spin this out. I'm pretty sure most front sight post tools might work with this, like AK tools, I'm not too sure. But we'll basically just slowly turn this out. It is spring loaded, so when you get it to the end of its travel, just be careful, because it will want to shoot out like that. So we can just pull that out. We can flip it upside down, and that gives us the little spring that's underneath. As well as that, we need to remove this pin. Now this pin isn't in there tight whatsoever, so what you can do is you can just push that out. Doesn't matter either side. It's got a flat section in the middle. I'm not exactly sure what that's for, but once we've done that, we push up the little latch, which is part of the assembly where you pull it out and we can remove the top cover, and that's how the system works. Now we don't need to remove the top cover, so let's put this back into place. It's always a little bit more tricky lining that back up. Now once we've removed the flash hider, we've removed this latch, remove that pin and remove the front sight, this thing will just slide off. And the first part we're going to fit today is it's still modern looking, but I think I prefer this to the standard handguard. The standard handguard, up and top and bottom, we've got a Picatinny style rail, we've got M-lock slots on the side. You can only really use these ones because the top ones, the faux gas tube gets in the way. So this gets printed in 3 parts, so it comes with a little front sight replacement. We've got the top section, we've got the bottom section. Now what we want to do, once you've printed these out, these are printed in PLA matte on a bamboo printer. You slide that in, it goes together like that, and then you use 2 of these little M4 cap head screws. This is an M4 by 6 cap head screw, and we don't need to go crazy with these. We need a 3mm Allen key, and we're just going to screw these 2 parts together. I kind of wondering why these are 2 parts and why it couldn't be done as 1 part. Maybe it's tricky to get all the supports out if you print it like this. Now the top piece I printed on its end like that. The handguard, you can actually see 2 sections here. I printed it at an angle. But if I do get on with this front end and I like it, I'll just get it professionally done in MJF. Once those 2 parts are screwed together, we could just slide this on over the original parts like that, and then we can put that latch down for the top cover. We're going to remove the O-ring off the front like that, because we won't necessarily have room for it anymore. So we slide the front post over and it sits in there like that. If we were to add the O-ring and the washer, we're losing quite a bit of that thread, so we don't necessarily need it. And I do plan on putting a suppressor on this thing, so we could spin that round, it perfectly lines up, and we can just nip this down so it doesn't come loose. So that's our front end. We do need to put the body pin in. Now this body pin is tighter with this handguard, but I honestly think that's better because in the standard form it doesn't really sit very well. So I'm just going to tap this in, try and get it to line up here. So you'll see it doesn't quite want to line up. So you just need to do a bit of jiggery pokery to get it to line up, which it's not going to want to do. This could be just because it's printed and the holes aren't perfectly round. I'm not too sure, but in fact, can we pull that back out? Let's try going in the other side. This might line up a little bit better. So we need to kind of apply pressure whilst trying to line this up. So let me just do this because I can't do it with the camera in the way. So I'm just going to line that up in the hole. And then tap it home. Like that. And then we're just going to tap it in a little bit more. It doesn't require much pressure at all. Just getting it even on both ends, and that's your pinning. So there's your front handguard. It's kind of like a, I'd treat it as like a futuristic style, like Magpul handguard. So it's very comfy. You've got these little slots for your hands to sit into, which again is very comfortable. You've got M-lock here, which is usable. You've got M-lock on the top. You've got M-lock underneath. So all your accessories will screw into this. Just make sure you print it in a nice strong way. And yeah, it's changed the front end. It's made it a little bit more futuristic because with this PPK20, it's futuristic looking, but it's definitely an acquired taste. So to take the grip off, we're just going to use a 4mm Allen key. We're going to spin this screw all the way out, which is a very long screw, and this all comes out as one piece, which is why in my initial review of this PPK20 I said it was a bit of a mistake doing this, because fitting different grips, you know, we're kind of stuck. So, but someone has come up with a solution. Now I'll flash it on screen, the little info card where you can find this guy on Cult. So this is a grip adapter. Now I just printed this out quickly to see what it's all about. Basically just making sure everything was going to fit. So this was the first attempt, which was done with a 0.2mm height on a strong print. So this was done with no support, so you can see where it struggled a bit here with the arch. And then we've got this rough texture on the top. So I redid it. I changed it to 0.1mm layer height and included supports, which very much cleaned. We've still got a bit here, but it's not a big problem. But the bottom of it here, as you'll see, which has his logo in, it's come out very much cleaner. So this will go in. It basically replaces that whole section there like that. And then what we can do, you guys know it's coming, we can fit a die-free co. Now, I've had to modify yet another die-free co. I'm losing track of how many of these die-free co's that I've butchered to get them on different rifles. But all you want to do with this is you just want to cut it flush. So this section here hasn't really been touched. And I just got like one of those multi-tool power tools where it's got like the little saw blade and it oscillates really quick. And I just use that to trim it across, and then I just use a bit of sandpaper just to sort of sand that flat. So you just want it completely flush because we've got nowhere for that tang to go. Once we've done that, we can slide this on, and then you're going to need another screw. Now this is a cap head screw. This is an M5 by 20, so that's an M5 thread, 20mm long. We're going to use the 3mm Allen key again, and you do need something that's quite long. I'd probably even maybe go to a longer size if I had one, just to make sure we've got plenty of purchase on those threads. So you see it comes through there like that. And then I'm just going to line, as soon as I've got the screw lined up on the threads, I'm just making sure that this is 100% flush and flat. Hold it flat, and then I can screw in that M5 screw. Like that, just nip it up nice and tight. So now we've got a futuristic front end, we've got a dye-free code grip, and it really does transform the PPK20, because I'm not a massive fan of this front end. I'm not a massive fan of this grip. It's very uncomfortable for me. It doesn't really give you much purchase. It flares out, which kind of breaks your grip. It's very difficult to explain, but it's almost like you can't get much of a strong grip on it, and as you try to grip it tighter, your grip kind of moves up the pistol grip. So I'm very much glad to get rid of that. This grip, I love it. It's on most of my guns now, and the reason why I use it and I stock it is because it's perhaps one of the best grips I've ever ran. We stock them on the store. We're constantly out of stock because they fly out as soon as I get another batch in. So we'll be due another restock soon. So the guy that does this, again, I'll flash his details up on screen for you. You can find him on Cults. I think the files are like three or 4 euros, or £3 ish for each. And you know, for a £5, you can have the files, you can print it at home or get a buddy to print it. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't mind me showing these things off on camera. I'm sure he hasn't, or I'm sure he doesn't. I don't plan to distribute these things. I've just printed it because I thought it was cool. I'll be putting a suppressor on there of some kind. I need to put a red dot on there. And of course, at some point we need to put some nice barrel and hot components in, and then we're pretty much good to go. The stock is the only thing that really looks out of place now, but I'm sure people will come up with, you know, options for that. I don't really mind the stock. It's not too bad. What I will say is using it, same with the AK-12, is if you've got a beard like I have, well, I sometimes have, you always snatch your beard hairs in this stock. And if you've had that happen to you, you know how annoying it is. So I thought I'd show this off. It's very cool. I really do like it. It gives it a much more futuristic but much more ergonomic grip. It's a lot more comfortable than holding this Picatinny rail at the bottom here. It slims it down, so you can see obviously the width of this. I tend to shoot with my thumb over bore like that. It's just how I shoot. Now with this handguard on, I've got a much slimmer profile, because you'll see how much fatter this is, which is just much more comfortable for me getting my thumb over bore. I would have liked this this to be one piece and you just slide it on. So if the guy does manage to see this video, hopefully, you know, we can he can do something for that. He does different versions of the handguard as well, so he does much more minimalistic ones. I think he's got 3 that you can choose from. So go check him out if you've got a PPK20. And yeah, I think if I get on with it well, I'll just get these parts done professionally with MJF. If I can find a way to sort of pinch these 2 parts together and get it all as one piece MJF, I think that probably make more sense. But there you go. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we're still on the same journey with the PPK20, of course. It's a very cool looking replica. It shoots well for what it is. I think the only thing that lets it down in my book is the fill valves on the magazines. But yeah, I think it's starting to look a little bit special. Maybe we need to do some special Cerakote job on this and give it some nice updated fancy colour. But you have to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps us out a lot, and you know, benefits us getting more and more content out there. To be honest with you, it's probably, I don't even realise I'm doing it, but you can, if you subscribe to the channel, expect daily, almost daily videos of airsoft related stuff. Most of it's GBBR stuff, but we've got other stuff in the works as well. So thanks for tuning in. You can join the Ag Precision Discord. Link will be in the description below. And as always, from me and Bench, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.